So I was listening to a podcast today. I like to learn things, right? So every day I need to learn something new. I learned today from this very clever bloke that crap in equals crap out. So if you're crap at something, it doesn't matter if you're using the best computer in the world, if you're crap at using that computer, you're going to get crap out of it. And this, my friends, doesn't matter if you like it or not, I'm only talking facts. It's the best performing squeegee in the world. But if you are crap at using squeegees, and the majority of window cleaners on the planet, I would say, aren't even competent in using squeegees well, then the results out from using the squeegee is exactly what we're seeing here by the YouTube window cleaners giving out their statements and reviews about how bad this tool is. So, what I love about window cleaning is I like to do everything that is against the grain of what the window cleaning so-called industry states and likes. Because if I did what everybody else did, I'd pretty much be like everybody else. And we all know by now is I teach how not to be like everybody else. Be better than everybody else at your job. Now, I can't talk about any other than using the best performing squeegee, but because squeegees in window cleaning is still the most used tool to clean windows, it's best if I keep on track and talk about the things that I know best about this tool. So another good thing about window cleaning that I have that other people don't, I have a love of numbers. I love the number 0 and I love the number 100, 0 to 100. So when I'm working with my tool and technique, with my highest performing squeegee, I'm looking for 0 mistake, 0 detail, tool and technique. And I'm looking at 0 detail, 0 mistake, tool and technique 100% of the time. Do you like that? So, what I'm going to do is talk about high risk, high reward. And if you don't have the skill or the ability or the knowledge, then disregard high risk, high reward techniques. Now the high risk, high reward technique is the minimum move. And if you can do it right and get the 100% results, it's the quickest maneuver for cleaning these types of rectangular windows. Right, so high risk, high reward. So it's going to mean that I got to put my positioning power, my 0 detailing power, my rubber, my tool, everything has to be set up perfectly for this technique to work. And I want to get the right angle for my tool. So everything needs to be calculated. Most window cleaners around the world, and definitely you can notice this on YouTube with most window cleaners, there is no calculation in their work. They just work like robots. So I want to put my tool in the right place at the right time, and I want it to hit 0 detail, 0 mistake on this window. Now, that's a high risk, high reward. I've got 0 detail, 0 mistake. You can only get 0 detail, 0 mistake 100% of the time if you use these tools and you have a very high ability with your squeegee technique. And you need a very stable soap solution method to work with, because if you work with any other suggestion of using any other type of professional soap, or put it in the bucket of water, or use a squirt bottle, forever you're going to be working longer, harder, slower and get less results, and you won't get results like this. So high risk, high reward, there was a lot of calculation there. Now for most people this isn't feasible. And number 2, it's not feasible for me to do this constantly because different windows require different, I need to attack this window in a different way. But 100% of the time, Now listen to the numbers here. My favourite numbers, 0 and 100. 100% of the time, doesn't matter how I clean this window, depending on what size tool I use, as long as it's going to be a liquidator, 100% of the time, if it's going to be a like for like comparison, I'm always, forever, going to get this window cleaned in a quick amount of time compared to any other window cleaner on YouTube using any other solution, tool, whatever favourite technique that they have on that day. I'm always going to get the windows cleaned quicker, but for me it's going to be slower than before, but it's less risk of me messing up. So the high risk, high reward maneuvers is a massive time saver, but first of all I need to know I can do that time saving maneuver and not making the mistakes. And if it's not feasible, then I just default into a technique that requires me to come down the glass rather than up the glass, but I'm always going to be using the two hands method. And to be honest, most of the time coming down the glass like this is better because I've still got my two hands on the glass and I'm capturing the solution with my washer, rather than if I'm doing the minimum move. Quite often I'm going to pull my washer off the glass when I'm doing that minimum move. Either way, I'm gonna, doesn't matter what I decide to do, 100% of the time, those windows, whatever windows I'm working on, as long as they ain't windows that are basically falling apart and the edges here are like concrete, there's no one window that I work on in all my work that isn't a good quality window to work on. Not one. I work on wooden frames, but I can use liquidators no problem on any window that I work on. So the more time goes on, the more windows get replaced and modernized, and the modern windows, liquidators are so easy to work on. So if you're crap, most window cleaners on YouTube think they're great at what they do, but you know, I'm comparing myself to them. Everything that I do and talk about and show is much higher standard, but it's only a standard to me. Other people might think it's way out the realms of being amazing. It's not amazing at all. It's just different, and it's better, because if it wasn't better, I wouldn't be making videos like this, and I wouldn't be definitely be using the liquidator, because if I was to listen to all the reviews of all the other window cleaners pretty much on YouTube, liquidators are rubbish, and you definitely can't use liquidators on commercial accounts. It just so happens that I can use liquidators on commercial accounts, and every single time I use my liquidators on commercial accounts, I get my windows cleaned quicker and with higher quality 100% of the time, getting zero detail, zero mistake, tool and technique.